I don't care if you've been learning about the throat goat all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, who's ready to come to you live. I'm ready to stack. Look up after that day shit on my left. The only ninja in the world on ninja.
I should have known he was gonna go with that. I should have known, but I'm just gonna put this out there. Nancy Reagan wasn't sucking dick in the White House. There you go.
As you take a sip. On my far right, engineer on the 1 and 2, Joe Lude on the Big Boy.
I kept thinking of throats my goats when you said that. For some reason. That's so disrespectful. But also, she had a service.
Yeah.
Apparently she did it well.
Oh, shit.
Throat goat. Last but not least, we got your boy Blue.
Based on my Brawler history, I am definitely on Santa Claus naughty list.
Damn.
Oh,
It ain't even Christmas shit.
I know. Been on that list.
Damn.
Alright, we back up in this motherfucker. It's Christmas time. Pronos, you usually got some awesome ass statistics for us.
I do have some statistics for you. Let's see. The listener of the week would be Pasha. Thank you very much for listening. And first in the chat would be nobody yet because we're super late. I'm sorry. We're gonna be late.
But was Pasha one of the Spice Girls, right?
That's posh.
Posh. Yeah. I had to rewind it here. So yeah. Technical issues.
No worries. We up in this motherfucker. Old Ninja, you know what it is, who you pouring it out for, and what is it that you pouring?
I guess this week we'll pour out some we'll start out with some week-old 40-ounce Modelo.
Ooh.
We're gonna start out with Vicente Fernandez, a powerful Mexican singer known as El Rey, which means king. He was known as King of Mexico. He had an operatic sound accompanied by his mariachi band. He brought ranchera music, which emerged from the ranches of Mexico in the 19th century, to the rest of Latin America and beyond. He always performed in an elegantly embroidered costume of the charro, Mexico's chivalrous cowboy. No, not
What did ASA? Sorry.
Racist. He had a music career that lasted for 6 decades.
Damn.
He had a series of industry accolades, including a place in the Billboard Latin Music Hall of Fame, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, 3 Grammy Awards, and 8 Latin Grammy Awards.
Damn.
He sold tens of millions of copies of his albums, and he starred in dozens of movies. He continued to do concert tours up until his 70s. He died at the age of 81. No cause of death was given by his family.
You know what I thought of immediately when you started talking about this dude? In my head, I pictured that dude from Coco.
Yeah.
Ernesto de la Cruz.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I hope he ain't like evil as that motherfucker.
He was an asshole.
Oh, apparently not. But he did drink on stage, though. But
Well, I
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
yeah,
This guy was a legend. It's kind of crazy.
yeah. I mean, he was semi-homophobic, but I guess that's as bad as it gets.
What's really crazy about this story is that, like, literally the day before was the sweetest's birthday, and I played, like, him performing, like, Happy Birthday. Like, I had to go over my Alexa system. It was pretty funny, but then, like...
Oh, yeah, you just said it again.
Yeah.
Right on.
So you make somebody's she who must not be named go off.
He woke up.
Yeah. It's like, what you want?
Alright, keep it going.
Next up, we have Keiko Nobumoto, screenwriter behind the acclaimed anime series Cowboy Bebop and Macross Plus, Wolf's Rain, and Tokyo Godfathers. Tokyo Godfathers is not an anime; it's a live-action film. She first worked as a nurse before finding a job as a secretary at an anime company. She was already honing her skills as a writer, studying under Dragon Ball scribe Takeo Koyama. Working with director Shinichiro Watanabe, she wrote scripts for his Shinichiro Chanflo, Space Dandy, Carol and Tuesday. She also worked in gaming, serving as the scenario supervisor on Square's Kingdom Hearts. She passed away at the age of 57, reportedly after battling esophageal cancer.
Man.
Fuck.
Esophageal cancer. What the hell?
Yeah, apparently she worked with Shinichiro Watanabe a lot. I mean, they collaborated a bunch of times, so and she's done some live action.
I mean, you name basically all of his works.
Yep.
Yeah, but she also. I mean, I didn't know that he was part of Macross Plus. I didn't know that was him. So I actually like Macross Plus. And there's apparently they're re-releasing it in theaters. Apparently, so
Nice.
But R.I.P. to her. Next up, we have Anne Rice, probably best known as the Queen of Vampires. Anne Rice was an author of some of the most prolific Gothic vampire lore. Or modern vampire lore. Her big success came in 1976 with the best-selling Vampire Chronicles novel series, which started with the book Interview with the Vampire. 13 books in total would make up the series. She got her master's degree from San Francisco State University, and both of her kids were born in the Bay Area.
Bay Area.
A lot of her works have been turned into films, such as the 1994 Interview with the Vampire, which is being revived as a series, Queen of the Damned, Exit to Eden, The Young Messiah, and The Feast of All Saints, which was a Showtime miniseries. Rice wrote erotic books as well, such as her Sleeping Beauty series. She wrote a series of books based on Ramses, with a new book scheduled to be released in 2022. She died at the age of 80 due to complications due to a stroke, as reported by her son, Christopher Rice.
Real quick,
And
thank you, Maha Blurry, just super chatted us. Also, real quick about Anne Rice, she had some of the best badass, sexy-ass vampires out there. No sparkly ones. They were treacherous. they were all trying to fuck each other. It was great. And also
very homoerotic.
Yeah, and if you watch, here goes the noise. If you watch Interview with the Vampire, where they have the actual Interview with the Vampire is my stepdad's old clothing shop. So.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, it was in the mezzanine.
Oh.
And right above this, where I think Seas Kennedy might be still there, but it's on like Market and something. But yeah, he was right. That was exactly where his shop was.
Nice.
This is in Louisiana, or is this somewhere else?
San Francisco.
Oh, San Francisco. Okay. Oh, that's right. He tells the story. He starts in San Francisco with the story. Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in ages, so I don't remember. But yeah, that's awesome.
Super chatted twice. Thank you.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
Dude, I've never read any of her books or even did an audiobook of hers. I'm like looking through her list. I'm like, I haven't read any of her work. Yes, I haven't read any of them.
I mean, I see her movies. I haven't read any of her books as well. So
I think I read a couple. I read a bunch of like longer-ish series when I was in Iraq. Cause I mean, what are we gonna do? I worked out, read books, played video games, and worked. But yeah, I read a few of those on like e-reader.
It looks like she had a book about next year. Part of the
that's what I just said.
I wasn't listening.
That's the last thing I said. And then last but not least, we have Belle Hooks, born Gloria Jean Watkins. She was an author, but she also was an author who brought Black women's voices to the feminist perspective. She wrote numerous books as well as children's books. She also taught at the University of California at Santa Cruz for a little bit. And she also taught... where's the other one? I just lost it. Oh, well... She taught at San Francisco State University and Yale. So she taught there, and then Oberlin College, and then City College of New York, teaching the Black women's perspective on feminism. Her first book, or her first major work, Ain't I a Woman? Black Women and Feminism, garnered her numerous attention as well as fame. She continued to work throughout up until 2018, which was her last adult book that she published. She has at least 45 books, I think this is.
Adult book sounds like she was writing erotic shit.
She could have. Oh, well, check this out. There's a book called Real to Reals, Race, Sex, and Class at the Movies. So there you go. There you go, Prodigy. She died of kidney failure at her home in Kentucky at the age of 69.
That's not that old.
Yeah. And that's all she wrote, folks.
All right.
Well, quick thing. I was looking up Anne Rice, a little bit of her book, but she apparently wrote a short story that was in Playboy. I'm trying to find it, can't find it. It's hard to find. Holy shit.
She's written a lot of stuff. She's
It was like she wrote a short story that ties into the interview of the vampire series.
Nice.
I want to know what it was about.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, guys. What y'all want to jump into first? Goddamn, there's a whole bunch going on this week.
Hold on, you started this off. Are we gonna talk about this or not?
Set it up. Set it up.
So apparently the internet has like a shorter memory now because of everyone has ADHD or something. I don't know. So the way I'll break it down because Prodigy jumped onto this bandwagon over the weekend. So it started out with Ben Shapiro's sister trying to slut shame Madonna at the age of 63. Someone countered and showed Nancy Reagan at the age of 64 and claimed that she was doing her thing, sucking all kinds of dick at the MGM studios when she was an actress. Come to find out, they posted a transcript from a 1991 book of an unauthorized biography that supported this claim. So everyone jumped on top of this, even though it was already Twitter fire back in 2015. The book was about in 1991. Apparently, people forgot. It resurged over the weekend, so now people are up in their feelings that when Nancy Reagan was like in her early 20s and on the Hollywood movie set, she was out there sucking dick. And apparently, she was the best at it, at least at MGM. Which, because they were going to kick her out of roles, she sucked it so good that she got roles. They even claimed, like, I forgot his name. He was the head of MGM, super famous dude. He said that she couldn't act, but they gave her roles because she sucked off all the executives. I know everyone says, the First Lady, she did a bunch of stuff in the 80s with her role as the First Lady, but man, this is some fucking wild ass shit.
This was hilarious. Yeah, I will say this. I guess I missed the 2015 breakdown or the 1991 breakdown, whatever. But I was like, why is she fucking trending on Twitter? Random on a Sunday morning or Saturday or something like that. And then I was like,
oh, this is even more hilarious. I'm looking into this a little bit more, and apparently Ronald Reagan's daughter, Patty Davis, she was on Playboy. She's on the cover of Playboy.
Yeah, she does. Someone's like, doesn't she do the Michelle Pfeiffer thing? Someone's holding her titties or something?
Yeah.
Something like, yeah, she does the same thing.
But
so her daughter and her did not get along.
It wasn't Michelle Pfeiffer. It was Janet Jackson.
They both did, didn't they? Didn't they do the same thing?
No. He's talking. Yeah, he's right. Blue's right. That's the Janet Jackson If cover.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, I misunderstood. Yeah. Okay.
You getting your titties confused.
Yeah.
I was. My titties mixed up. You're right.
I mean, unless you're joking, I think in 2021, like, you shouldn't be like shaming somebody for like their sexual proclivities. Like, you probably have some shit that you do yourself that you're into that you probably want nobody to fucking know. And guess what? Now they're gonna look for it. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, her head game was so strong that she ended up being the first lady of the United States. So
damn, god damn.
Why do you hate?
to be known for it, I mean, wow, holy shit.
Hold on, real quick. Sorry, I gotta interrupt one more time. Thank you, Candle Guru, for the donation. We appreciate it. We got a whole bunch of super chats tonight. Sorry.
Right on. No, that's awesome. But to be known for it, like, yeah, again, to be known for it, that's pretty wild. I guess I fucking missed it from back in the day, 90s, 2015, whatever the fuck it was. I missed this shit. And, it was a surprise. It was kind of wild.
Kind of wild?
It was real wild, but it was hilariously funny. And some people got all butthurt about it. Look, she's been gone for several years now.
She's been gone for a decade, right?
Yeah.
A decade? Yeah, she's gone for a minute.
I don't know when the fuck she died. But none of that fucking matters. Don't be fucking sticks in the mud. Something comes out, and whether it was just rumors back in the day from decades ago or not, That shit is hilarious. I mean, throat goat, like known on them streets for the best head.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild as fuck to me.
Yeah. So the author of the book, she doesn't go into like graphic detail. So you can actually, well, the author of the book is Kitty Kelly. She goes on, what is it? Not, it's one of those like daytime talk shows or nighttime talk shows. I want to say it was 2020. I couldn't tell, but I watched the majority of her interview. She tried to keep it mostly respectful, but she really goes deep into Nancy Reagan's relationship with Frank Sinatra and about how like he had like private access to the White House because she was super enamored with him, and like apparently she had OCD about scheduling, and he was the only person that was not on the schedule. And people refuted her, and she's like, "No, I knew." She literally had a list. She's like, "I knew this aide, that aide, this person, chief of staff knew. They all knew. They snuck him in through the back." She had like all this telltale stuff about what she was doing, about her being promiscuous in her 20s. She's like, well, she wanted to put it out there that Nancy wasn't the only one doing this kind of thing. Like,
Of course.
I mean, it was the 50s, and if you're a pretty lady, you were probably subjected, unfortunately, to these predatory men that were like, hey, if you want to be, a star in Hollywood, you gotta suck some dick. Apparently, because Nancy
1950,
Reagan was
2021, whatever. Because this just
Yeah.
happens in the industry.
yeah, so it's just like
The casting couch is real.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
So I mean, it's still crazy that I mean, it's not necessarily refuted. I mean, her daughter didn't like her. Like they fought all the time, even though when her dad got sick, they kind of reconciled. But she was spilling tea back in the '80s about what was going on. So some pretty wild shit.
Again, I don't know how if you're the daughter or whatever, coming 30 years, 25, 30 years later or whatever, you can comment on what your mama was doing in her 20s and shit. Like, you don't fucking know unless somebody was telling you. You know what I mean?
Oh no. She just like what was going on during the White House, not about what she was doing then. Apparently, well, she can comment about Frank Sinatra
Yeah.
because she was probably saw him on the cuff or whatnot, and then just certain things that maybe other people had said to her, but her and her mom apparently they it seemed like they hated each other. So
Well, and I'm just going to quickly say this, though. I mean, I don't know why people in 2021 always like to pretend that this never happens, but there's this phenomenon of, like, groupies actually occur. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a male celebrity, there's groupies. Like, it does happen. That is a legitimate thing. Yes, there's a separate thing, like what you were talking about, Old Ninja, in terms of, predatory stuff and casting couch and all that. I get that. But there's also just folks that want to give you head because you're famous or rich.
true. I mean, it may have applied to Nancy Reagan with Frank Sinatra, and the pictures with the two of them with Reagan, actually all of them, they all have new meaning now.
I want to say something fucked up right now, but I wonder if she like wanted to give a job to a black guy, and he's like, "Nah, I ain't down with you white chicks." That's why she had her war against rap music and all of.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure Mr. T has something to do with
Fight it.
I'm pretty sure her and Mr. T has something going on. She might use her teeth on him or something. I don't know.
Well, I always associate the anti-rap stuff with mostly Tipper Gore.
Yeah, Tipper Gore.
Oh yeah.
Because she was the one quoting Prince lyrics to Congress and shit on C-SPAN.
I associate the Reagans with the war on drugs, incarceration, fucking. What else did they mess up? They messed up a whole bunch of things back then, and it was just like, that's their legacy. So I can't say many good things about them now.
Yeah, I think the best thing is Tipper Gore trying to partially recite Two Live Crew lyrics where she couldn't even finish it. She's like, "Oh my god, I can't say this word." I'll say, "Oh my god," but she was all hella mad. That's just crazy.
Yeah, but I'm convinced Nancy was a throat goat in her day. You can't tell me otherwise. You can't disprove it.
What do you
know what I mean?
You can bust out a Ouija board. Hey Nancy, were you?
Oh, yes.
Oh damn!
You're gonna be haunted by your spirit. Everywhere you go, you're gonna feel like a little tingle in your balls or something.
Oh man, that's
Down there
terrible.
juggling them.
Oh,
Alright.
You gotta cuff your balls, baby. It's cold in the attic.
how do we start off the podcast talking about a dead former first lady and her sucking all kind of dick?
That's because everything is in the world. Come on now.
Right.
This is true.
We gotta live up to. We got standards to stand by.
Everybody else is scared to do this content.
Oh shit! Oh my god.
You know?
Okay.
Throat got to get discussed. You knew it. You knew
I
it.
did. I knew it was coming.
I love that somebody made a meme of Pete Davis with Nancy Reagan.
Oh.
The meme world is fucking on point when it comes to things like this, but that Pete Davis one had me rolling just because. Been dating goddamn.
And she reminded her own goddamn business being dead, and then all of a sudden, fucking Shapiro's sister was like, "This was a classy lady in her 60s," and everybody was like, "Wait a minute, you know what I mean?"
Yeah, look, remember what she was doing. Yeah, that's all bad. That's all bad. I mean, damn. I think the two best memes out of that was the Doc Brown, because there's a scene from there's a scene from Back to the Future where he asks who's the president in 1985, and so it's all like, oh, you know, it's Ronald Reagan, and he married Nancy Reagan. He married the throat goat? I'm like, oh shit.
That's awesome. All right, we got all kind of good news to get into. For old school, let's start with a little gaming. Old school Splinter Cell fans are happy, finally. Like, for the first time in a decade plus, right?
You know what's funny? I never played that game, so I was like, that's definitely not Solid Snake. So, yeah.
It's terrible.
This is true. But they had a bunch of games in Splinter Cell, and I mean, they had some fans. He wasn't Solid Snake, you're right, but a whole bunch of people were looking forward to this.
He does have a following. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's kind of fucked up because you have Rainbow Six, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's like I'm pretty sure there's a Sam Fisher Rainbow Six mission in the game.
Oh yeah.
There's one in Ghost Recon. Ghost Recon has a Sam Fisher mission. So it's not really him because you can't be him, but you work with him with your characters. So it's like a tease. So now we're getting something kind of new. It's kind of sort of.
Yeah.
I think supposedly it's a remake. Go ahead, Kronos.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I was reading that it's made by the same team, or the same team that made Far Cry 6 is making the remake of Splinter Cell, which is cool because Far Cry 6 is quite good.
There you go. What was the last game of theirs? Splinter Cell Black or something like that?
I don't know. I never played any of them.
I don't know. I have Chaos Theory, the co-op one. That's actually pretty good. It's really stealthy. I mean, that is like one of those solid co-op, like, you need to, if you get caught, you restart all the way from the fucking beginning.
I can't remember exactly how long it truly has been. I'll look it up while we're talking, but I was glad to see it. It's like, hey, you know, if you can bring back something and it's good, we'll see if it's good. We don't even have a trailer or anything like that. But if it's good, then maybe it'll satisfy that stealth combat kind of itch that we all have, since we ain't getting no more Metal Gears, at least not for right now.
Yeah.
See, I remember playing Splinter Cell on the PSP. That game was a lot of fucking fun. Just portable, going around stuff, like taking out enemies, stuff like that. The game was pretty fun on the PSP. I think that was like that game didn't get as much credit as it should have. But I never played it on any of the other consoles though. I think the PSP was the only version I ever played.
Yeah, I have Chaos Theory. I have like some other weak ass one, but I think the last one was Double Agent or Conviction, one of those two. It's been a while. Did y'all even see this the video game awards or any of this shit? Happened last Thursday.
I saw some of that. Yeah.
I didn't. Well, it's funny. I didn't watch like the whole thing. The thing that I watched was like the video of the Enemy song by Imagine Dragons, because they did it live, and that song fucking slaps. If you ever watch the Arcane,
Mm-hmm.
which is a great show. It's the intro song. It's like one of the perfect songs for that show. And they do it live. I thought it was pretty dope. But I saw like the some of the winners. Do we have a list of those them up or?
I'm looking at a separate list.
I thought it was funny that Returnal was like nominated for it. Don't get me wrong, Returnal wasn't bad, but it got to the point where it's just like unless I can like sit down for a solid 8 fucking hours straight and play this game, like I'm not gonna beat it. You know what I mean? Because I kept pausing it and then like putting my thing in rest mode and then something would update, even though I was told not to update, or a power outage would happen and I lose all my shit, like everything.
I don't know if it's confirmed because I haven't played that one at all. But I thought that they did a patch or an update to give it a save button.
They did, but not have to go back and play it. It's just it to me. It should have been from the get go, especially now that I'm like sort of in like the rogues like games. After I started playing, what was that game? Hades. I was like, why isn't it like this? Like, this is the way to do it. And that when I started playing Hades, I was like, fuck this game. So especially like the actual getting decent weapons and then losing everything and like your upgrades don't hold over and stuff like that. For like your weapons upgrades, that gets really annoying.
Yeah. I can tell. I go ahead, Alden. Did you find something?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got. It looks like the full list is kind of strange. I don't know.
I know some of these games are out already.
Yeah, a lot of them are out. There's a lot of categories. You want to just get to some of the big ones?
Game of the Year was the
Game of the Year was It Takes Two. So it's a co-op game.
That game was really good.
Yeah, it looks like a weird like marriage counseling game that you play together to like rekindle your romance, I guess. It's like a couple, they're like fighting, so something pulls them into some weird alternate world where they have to work together in order to survive. And like apparently it works. I guess.
It's like Portal. Like when you play Portal in 2-player, it's basically it almost feels like that. Like I see some of the gameplay stuff like that. It looks really fun. It definitely looks like a game you can play with like your spouse because like there's a lot of like his things and her things that you can do.
Yeah, and they have some funky marital like comments and stuff that they say. It's also like you're shrunken too. You're like inside of like Honey I Shrunk the Kids kind of world. You have to like solve these puzzles to survive. And it's okay.
Yeah, I was happy to see something that's kind of a smaller game. You know what I mean? That's fine. More power to them. I haven't played this one quite yet. I thought it was free on at least the PS4 version on PS Plus one of these years because I think I have it in my library. I just never played it.
The game just came out.
What are you talking about?
It Takes Two.
Oh, it came out this year.
Yeah, but do you guys have it in your PlayStation library?
No, because I didn't buy it. The fuck is how that works?
No, but I could have sworn it was in like the collection or PS Plus or something.
No, I don't.
For one of those months.
Maybe it's a different game. I don't think it was. Maybe it was. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, it's got like on like all the different like not platforms, but all the different like gaming sites. Like it's got 9s and 9s and 5s. Like it did pretty well.
Yeah, it also won Best Multiplayer Game, beating out Back 4 Blood, which I thought was going to take it. The game that's nominated the most at the awards only won one award, and that was Deathloop.
Which is a shame. Like I'll talk about Deathloop because I'm into the game now, and I get it. It's a really good game. I can see why IGN gave it a 10. I'm surprised it didn't win more stuff.
Yeah, it was nominated the most and only won Best Art Direction. A surprise for me was Guardians of the Galaxy that won Best Narrative. So
that game came out already.
Yeah, it came out like about a month or so ago.
Right here.
Not too long. Yeah, Metroid Dread won Best Action Adventure. Forza 5 won 2 awards, Best Innovation and Accessibility as well as Audio Design. There's an award for Best Ongoing Game, and Final Fantasy 14 won that one.
That's an MMO.
I believe so. I would imagine. And then Best Community Support was also Final Fantasy. Best Anticipated Game, probably like this, was Elden Ring.
Oh, nice.
Let's see.
And then the same game one for best independent game.
Kena.
Yeah, that game was so good. Yeah.
Yeah, it won 2 awards. It won Best Independent Game and Best Debut Indie Game.
That's great. Good for them. Good. Shout out to Ember Labs.
Yeah, and then your girl Maggie Robinson, who's the voice of Lady Demonstrace from Resident Evil Village, she won Best Performance.
Yeah, that's
nice.
That game did get nominated for Game of the Year too, so I was glad to see that.
Yeah, Returnal won Best Action Game, and then I didn't know that this was a category, but Best VR Game went to Resident Evil 4.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's cool that that's a category now, but it shows it as best VR AR game.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still pretty cool. Some of these games look kind of cool. I want to try in VR.
Let's see. So they have like stuff like best esports game was League of Legends. I'm not really surprised by that one.
I wonder if they've seen a bump since Arcane, because Arcane was so goddamn good and so like exciting and like a really good dipping of your toe into that world or whatever. I wonder if people said, hey, let me try League of Legends, even though it doesn't look anything like Arcane, obviously.
Yeah. And then Player's Choice Award went to Halo Infinite.
Oh, good shit.
And then there's some other ones on. I don't understand. So I think it was a tie for best game studio, game direction, which was Bethesda and Arcane Studios. I suppose it says best game direction. It has 2 different studios, so maybe it was a tie.
Oh, maybe that wasn't that for Deathloop then?
Possibly.
I don't know.
But
I'm reading some of these, like the accessibility one. And if y'all are playing,
what does that mean?
Accessibility, like, so there's been a huge push, which is good for people that have various, disabilities.
Disabilities?
Yeah, playing games, and so they make things more accessible for them. So like when you first get, this is the first game I ever played like this, but in Far Cry 6, when you first boot the game up, it tells you everything on the screen, like it's talking to you, and then it asks you if you want to turn it off. And then it has like all these other accessibilities. They have like colorblind mode. They have all these other like control schemes. They have all these things, and it's like right at the very beginning. And I think a lot of games probably have those somewhere in the menus systems. But having it like bam, like right in the very beginning, like hey, like if you need help, like you can get help in the very beginning. You don't need somebody to help you figure this shit out. Just having them talk. This is how I know now that it really is the cross, not the X button. It's the fuck. To me, it was the X button because the cross goes like this, and X goes like that. I'm just saying. I don't know why they call it a cross button, but apparently it's a cross button.
Yep. Back 4 Blood did the exact same thing. Like as soon as you booted it up, it was talking to me through the instructions and all this stuff.
Nice.
And it kind of threw me off at first. I was like, "Whoa!" But obviously figured it out, and it was great. But yeah, more power to them. It's not something that I thought about, of course, because I don't need them personally. But if you can bring more people in that want to play games and have fun, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool because like we saw this with Netflix when Daredevil came out, because people were saying like, how come you guys don't have like the ability? I mean, the show's about a blind person, like you don't have the ability for blind people to enjoy the show. But then eventually Netflix went back and just rewound the tape, doing the correct audio on there with the audio descriptions. I think is what it's called.
Yeah,
but, yeah, like I think that's cool. Like it's actually pretty cool to listen to it that way. But yeah, I mean, you get more customers basically. Like you have these features, more customers will come and play, and it just makes it open for everybody, which is great.
If you build it, they will come, just like they came for the Throat God.
Damn. Oh my goodness. So what they showed, I've seen bits and pieces of this, like trailers for new games for 2022 and beyond.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot. I just want to pick up. I don't know if y'all.
Dude, Star Wars Eclipse, man. What the fuck you doing? Don't fuck around.
No, well, hold on. I'm not fucking around. Just slow your roll. There's a lot on here. I don't know if y'all caught all of these, but definitely Star Wars Eclipse piqued my interest because one, it's a High Republic game, and then two, this is by Quantic Dream, the guys that did Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls, the Elliot Page game.
Didn't they destroy too?
I believe so, but I think it might have been another studio. But uh, playing those games, there's kind of like not a whole lot of. It's more like dialogue, and you have to do context like buttons to like get the action going. Kind of, you don't have too much control over your character, so I'm just like, oh. I mean, it's exciting that this is set in this era. We're gonna see new characters and stuff. So, but the gameplay, because I'm familiar with, will be strange. I know that the storyline will probably be really messed up. You're probably gonna have to make some really messed up, morally ambiguous decisions during the game. There has not been a set release for this game, but the trailer is really long and it looks kind of crazy.
I want to see somebody have sex with a lightsaber. That's what I want to see.
You mean just watch someone die?
Gonna be some rock monster.
Well, fucking on Twitter, motherfuckers are doing these Star Wars videos and they're grabbing the fucking saber, and people in the chats are always getting fucking pissed off. It's like, you can't grab the goddamn saber.
That's all bad. There's a Wonder Woman game coming.
Yeah.
There's like a mini teaser trailer I saw. A game that it's still in development, won't come out until 2023. It's Alan Wake 2, an actual sequel to Alan Wake.
Going back to Wonder Woman, is Gal Gadot associated with it, or is it just
I don't believe so.
It looks, I mean, just from the teaser kind of thing, it looks like it's possibly semi-inspired in terms of the armor looking kind of similar or whatever. But I don't think it's Gal's actual voice or whatever. But I'm just excited to have a fucking Wonder Woman game, especially since AC or Assassin's Creed Odyssey was so good, and that was like the closest thing we've gotten to like an open world Wonder Woman game. So it was awesome.
I wonder if Kronos' girl is gonna do the voice work for her, because she does the voice work for like the DC animated series.
Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Great job.
Speaking of Rosario, they showed a trailer for Dying Light 2 that featured nothing but Rosario Dawson. So apparently that's out in February of 2022.
Yeah, well, all the fans will believe it when they see it. This game has been pushed back for years. Remember, the first one dropped in 2015, goddammit, and this one was supposed to be out, I think, in 2017 or 2018, and it's just push. So we'll see.
Yeah. We'll see.
This game comes out great. So it should come out like a lot of the bullshit games we've had in the past.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. Telltale is doing a couple of games. One of them is The Expanse. They're doing a Telltale series with The Expanse, and they're also doing a Star Trek game,
Nice.
which will be interesting. There's the Star Trek one I saw the trailer for. It didn't show too much.
So wait, is Telltale back? Or I thought them folks were bankrupt.
They found some money.
I thought somebody bought them out.
Yeah, I think someone might have
bought
bought them out.
Okay.
Yeah, I think someone bought them and rebranded them slightly, but they're doing an Expanse game and a Star Trek game. So
Should the website still work? And the first thing that pops up is The Expanse.
Cool.
There you go. The other one that kind of
there-
me.
On the bottom it says LCG Entertainment Inc. So I'm
Yeah, that's
guessing
your
you're part
bottom.
of them now.
So the one that was weird because I thought it was a movie, but it's a freaking Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, and I'm just like, this is probably just gonna be just like
Right.
the Jason game, which was good. Yeah, Friday the 13th was actually pretty fun. I played a lot with Stitch. Stitch was showing me how to survive, and we managed to survive where everyone else got cut the fuck up. So it was actually pretty interesting. It looks like this might be along the same way. But we'll see. I mean, it was only just like a cinematic trailer. There's no gameplay. I don't know if you guys saw the Suicide Squad trailer where they showed actual gameplay this time.
Didn't look like gameplay from what I saw. Maybe I
The ones where where King Shark had the minigun. It was like jumping and smashing people and eating people on the thing on the thing where they battle the Flash. Did you see that one?
Maybe I didn't.
Yeah, there's the one where they battle the Flash and they're trying to shoot him. Like he's running a circle and they're all trying to shoot around him. There's some Harley fighting where she's got her bat beating people up. They showed some Captain Boomerang stuff. It looks like he has some kind of buff or something, but he looks like he can like people can lob stuff at him, and he hits it, and it like so people's kind of crazy, and it looked interesting. It looks like the battle will be cool, and it's 4 players, so it's dropping pretty soon. This one might be a day one for me, but we'll see. Um, what was the other one that was? I don't know. Was there ones that you guys saw that might have picked? Oh, the Forspoken. That was the other one. Did y'all see this one?
Yes.
It's
I've been interested in that game since it was the other name. It was something else. It was Project.
Project Ana or Kana? Whatever.
No, it was
I'm sorry,
something.
Project Anus. We talking about throw code again? What's going on?
All
I
right.
know she got into the backdoor game.
Yeah, I mean this game.
Well, then we also. Sorry, go ahead. I was going to bring up another game.
No, this Forspoken looks really good because, first of all, on the technical level, it looks excellent. So I think it's using the latest or the newest Unreal Engine. So it looks amazing, and the main character seems to be very mobile and has like a whole bunch of like crazy ass powers that she can use. So we'll see. And then I also saw like some backlash about like the way they were trying to explain like the ethnic background of the main character in like really odd terms. So yeah. We'll see when the game comes out what it's all about. The gameplay looks really good and the graphics look amazing.
What made it? I haven't heard about like the odds. So
I gotta bring it up. Hold on. They were like.
So it's basically a African American female lead written by white writers. So people are like, well, how are you going to represent an African American female? Are you consulting? Are you doing this? I guess they're kind of consultant. Was the actress herself, but she's not a writer. So I guess they just kind of conferred with her a little bit. It's interesting to note that Amy Hennig, very famous for the Uncharted series, wrote the groundwork and the lore for the world, but not the main character. So that she like started their baseline, and they build on top of her work. So
What? I mean, not that it's the same medium, but I always go back to Brian Michael Bendis created and wrote Miles Morales.
mm-hmm.
Wasn't there a white guy? Maybe it was a movie or something. I can't remember. But wasn't there a white guy pretending to be a black woman? Was that like a movie plot or something, or is that like I can't recall real life shit?
That sounds like an episode of
And like he was called out for it too because somebody discovered who he was. Maybe I think that sounds like a movie.
Oh, it's
Go back to the game.
God damn, it goes back to Kotaku. So maybe let me just rewind a little bit. So something comes from Kotaku might be a little bit overblown. But apparently somebody said that the main character had a hip-hoppy walk. And that people are up in arms about. I'm like, okay.
What the
Like,
fuck?
It's not a big deal. It's Project Athia is what it was called before. Or
dang.
Athia? I think it's Athia, but yeah, I don't really. She has a hip-hoppy walk, whatever. She didn't seem like she had a hip-hoppy walk to me when they were showing the
Yeah,
the
that's why I didn't understand. But
I mean, she's
I read the article earlier. Apparently, the that writer, as well as the writer for IGN, they had some concerns. They're like, well, how are you going to, address this hip-hoppy walk? And they're talking about the main character's origin. And apparently, she's got like a criminal past and just like a bunch of negative stuff. So it's like,
I haven't read any of this shit, but either you want some black characters in gaming, or people of color, female characters. Either you want that, or you don't. And it sounds like Kotaku might be shitting on one of the few black female lead characters. Is that what I'm hearing?
no, they're concerned that representation will be a little too on the negative side.
Well, no, they're saying that it said, while all these high-profile names are well and good, especially for a previous association with crafting their AAA games, last I checked, none of them are black people. All right, like, I get it, but at the same time, like, you need to have inroads somewhere. So we're lucky to have some, you know what I mean, to have a black female protagonist in this game. The fact that none of the, makers of the game were black, yeah, it's sort of problematic, but, I mean, we'll see how the game is. Like, I'll talk about Deathloop in a little bit, but I don't know who the fuck wrote Deathloop. If it was somebody black or not. I know the guy who voiced him is black, and he definitely speaks. This is like the blackest fucking game made besides God of War. I'm just saying. That's a good joke if you think about it. I'm just saying. But yeah, I mean, you can't have, you're not going to have an entirely black studio today. Like, it's not going to happen. Will we get there someday? I hope, but that's not today. So we shouldn't get overly angry about the fact that, the entire studio from top to bottom isn't full of, diverse people. I mean, we're trying to get there. Let's just keep it going. But when you have shit like this, or the mega game with a black female protagonist, and you're talking shit about it before it even comes out, you know what it makes them do? Maybe I don't want to make a game with a black female protagonist anymore because I get too much goddamn flag about it. Now, if it's if the game comes out and it's like super like stereotypical or something like that, then yeah, maybe we'll have some voice of complaints. But right now, we only have a couple minutes of gameplay and a couple of videos. So let's hold that sort of criticism until the actual game comes out.
I think that there's a Lord of the Rings Gollum game that's coming out next year.
There is. That's another one that's been in development for. Because that one got pushed back too.
Wait, I got a question. Rewind it a little bit. Does Megan Thee Stallion have a hip hop walk?
Yeah. I don't. She just walks.
I'm genuinely curious now. What is a fucking hip hop walk? Let's get into that.
Thinking about that makes me think of that there's like a video out there where like a white lady teaching how to
how to
dance like hip hop or something like that. She's like,
I love that one.
Yeah. So I do want to say that it wasn't the writers from Kotaku that said this, or the game makers that said this.
But she had a hip hop walk.
Oh my god!
Yes, that's what. So that's what put them. That's what put them in a cringeworthy thing, or cringeworthy mode, as they say. And I'm just like, okay, well, is the game any good? Does she speak in Ebonics or something? Like, what the fuck? So I mean, I understand the concern because they want to be like, well, why does she have So it's a little funky.
I look up.
But they have.
Hold on, just real quick.
The nails just.
I pull up hip hop walk, and what do you think the first thing that pops up happens? What is the ethnic group? The ethnic group of the person that you think is gonna show the hip hop walk?
A white person.
100%. Now I'm gonna show a video. This will be Exhibit A. This is how you show it.
Sorry, we can't see it, but
Oh no, I'll pull it up for all you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna share. Yeah. You were in audio land.
Somebody
You're like,
doing
what the fuck's happening?
The hip hop walk.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's hip hop walk apparently.
What is happening?
Yeah.
The hell?
You have to watch this.
Oh my
You
god!
have to watch the video.
Oh man, the shoulder lean. This is a blonde woman in combat gear.
And this isn't even Kristen Dunst or whatever. Who was that?
Well, no, it's workout gear.
But you guys know she has the exaggerated swagger of a black teen. You know that.
Oh my god!
Baggy pants on. She looks like she just stepped out of what's that movie with Morion and oh god, I can't remember the movie where there's they're dance and all this stuff. Fuck, what's it called?
Marion? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember. One of them dance movies.
One of them dance. Any dance one, just think of it. But it's fun. Who was it? Billie Eilish. She just posted SL this weekend, and they did one of the skits that she did was like a Christian group wanted to add some more flavor to the I guess the nativity scene. So they wanted the people to be more hip hop. So they were trying to do oh, you got to do the hip hop walk basically. And, it's literally them doing what this girl was doing on the TV or whatever.
I guess that's
on YouTube.
That's how they see us apparently.
Yeah.
But also when you think of that episode of Fresh Prince where Carlton went to the ghetto and he was trying to be hard and he had to learn how to walk a certain way, which was fucking funny.
Yep.
Stereotypes always out there.
Yeah, there definitely are. That's hilarious. I'm gonna have to watch it. I didn't even see this trailer. Now I have to see this trailer and look for that fucking hip hop walk.
When I watched the video, I didn't see hip hop walk. She walked around a little bit, but she was mostly running at 45 miles per hour, which is amazing. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think this is the meat. Here's the meat of the concerns of the writer. So they felt as if there were stereotypes of the character about her being very angry, her having fallen through the cracks of society, and being on the verge of prison before she goes to this fantasy land.
So you know what's amazing about that? If you think of like the infamous games, or you think of like Vi from Arcane, or a whole bunch of other characters who are angry and in and out of prison or got problems with like the law and all of that, it's not completely a having to be a stereotypical only African American thing. That's interesting. I got to see this trailer. This seems like someone's doing some magical leaps here, possibly.
What's the game again?
It's called Forspoken. However, when you watch the trailer, none of that is there. This is stuff that they witnessed behind closed doors.
All right,
And the developers did. So, I don't know.
With I know there was some stuff that was dropped earlier today regarding we got a new trailer for Matrix, the Matrix 4. But we also got some information on some. I'm not sure if it was an actual game that's coming out, or we were just seeing some Unreal Engine fucking futuristic shit, because
It's a
goddamn
game.
the stuff that I saw was like there's parts of the I guess of the demo that they gave where it's like, shit, is that really Keanu Reeves, or is that like the fucking Unreal Engine? Like, he kept going back and forth, and I was like, holy shit, this shit, it looked pretty good, but there were certain points where like, okay, that uncanny valley was being hit over and over again. But well, did you guys have a chance to check that out?
Yes.
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, and I think it could be cool.
Dude, it was fucking crazy.
I saw like some statistics, and it said like it's gonna have 160 miles of roads on like the area that you're in. It looks like you're gonna be somebody that has the power of Neo in the game. So it'll be super interesting to like have like basically be a god and just like walk around like you got some Saints Flow going on. Y'all ever played Saints Row? You know what I'm talking about.
Like in the gameplay that they showed, it looks like it's gonna be based in San Francisco. Like, I mean, because I know that they did some filming out here for the previous Matrix movie. But yeah, but when I drive around the city, I'm like, dude, that's like the freeway for like the 101 and the interchange and this now. Like, this is totally San Francisco. But like when they show like the actual city view, I'm like, okay, there's a few buildings that are missing. That's from that like iconic San Francisco, like the Millennial Building and the what was it, the Pyramid? Who owns the Pyramid Building? Well, the Pyramid Building.
Transamerica?
Yeah, that building was missing from the video footage. But like it looked like San Francisco. But I don't know, this shit looked legit. Like, holy shit, it looked fun. I can't wait for it to come out. If it's actually gonna be a game that they're gonna drop for Matrix.
I'm excited for the Matrix in general. Like, I think it's really cool that they're bringing back a Matrix game along with the movie. I think that especially with today's technology, it's gonna they can blend together, you know, those two concepts like way better than they could back in the day. Because we had actually some decent, at least one decent Matrix game back there that I remember playing that was really good. So we'll see if how they do this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the main character, she's thick.
Nice.
They got some good physics going on for her. I'm just saying. And she's black.
I never get my hopes up too high for, slight movie tie-in, but, there's a whole lot of, like, material with the Matrix you could do really, really well. But really quickly, going back to it for a second, because I finally fucking watched the goddamn trailer. So it seems like it's a mix between, like, a Final Fantasy game and maybe elements of, like, The Witcher almost.
Yeah.
With, like, third-person magic, super colorful, super stylish, artistic action.
Yeah.
Nothing hip-hop in that for shit, at least from the trailer I saw. What the fuck? Go ahead.
But actress is beautiful.
Yeah, she's fine. Anyway, see the trailer for yourselves.
I like the trailer.
Yeah,
I like everything that I saw.
Violence.
I mean, you can fly around and shit and run really fast and like do crazy magic damage and stuff. It looked cool. I'm interested. So.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Kronos. I'm completely on board. I'm interested. I'm gonna keep my eyes on that game.
I'm looking for the hip hop walk, and she's just fucking walking.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I can't think of any other games that I saw that Because I didn't see anything about Gotham Knights, which I was hoping to see. So nothing.
You know what's confusing to me though? Obviously, they're both two big DC games and whatnot. Or now there's three with Wonder Woman, but what's dropping first? Is it Suicide Squad first, and then Gotham, and then Wonder Woman?
I don't know. COVID, man. But
That's a good ass question.
COVID pushed a lot of games back, so I don't think any of them have like solid dates. If they do say they're solid dates, I doubt it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
We got plenty of games that we know are going to come out soon. So it was actually a surprisingly good year of games this year.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, Gotham Knights doesn't drop until 2022, but there's no confirmed date for that one.
Yeah, no hard date. And then, Gotham Knights. I don't think there's a street date for that one either.
Same with Suicide Squad. There's no release date. It just says to be determined for 2022.
But you know what though? Because it's been so long since Arkham Knight. Take your time, but make sure it's really, really good. Both of these games. I know they're not by the same studio, but just make sure they're really solid and come out with a quality product. Don't half-ass it.
Yeah, don't pull a Cyberpunk 2077 and push it back 3 times and the game still sucks.
Yeah. You literally just can't have that. But let's go back a little bit though. Kronos, you're playing Deathloop. You wanted to break that down a little bit?
Yeah. Deathloop was a really surprising game. Like, it's nothing like you've ever played before. I can say that for certainty. First of all, like I said, it's like one of the blackest games ever. Like, when you hear Colt first start talking, I was like, oh, like, this dude's black. Like, whoever, I don't know the dialogue, like, I know that the voice actor that did it, which is funny because I shouted him out on Twitter, and then I saw that he was actually the most recent judge on Who Would Win. So I thought that was really cool. Who Would Win is James Gavsey and Ray, I forget his last name, but they do a really cool thing of who would win in a death battle or something like that. And it's a really cool podcast. If y'all want to check it out. I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. They have a judge, and he was one of the guest judges. Anyway, when he first started talking, I was like, damn, like this guy, first of all, he's a really good voice actor, and then the way he's saying everything is really cool, and him just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, because he's just wakes up on a beach, and he's like, what is going on? Maybe I drank too much, and then he's looking around, and he finds the gun, and then as you're walking up to the beach, all of a sudden there's these words that overlay around the landscape, questions that he has, answers to himself and shit like that. And it's interesting because you're stuck in a time loop. And so the day's broken up into 4 parts. It's morning, noon, afternoon, and night. And there's I think there's 4 zones around on the map, and they're all different. And then depending on the time of day, what happens on those 4 zones is different too. So what you have to do is, to break the loop, you have to kill these visionaries, which are people that have these powers. And so you have to do it all in one day to break the loop. If you don't kill them all in one day, the loop just starts over. You wake back up on the beach with nothing.
Damn.
Until you figure out how to basically have your equipment pass over with you if you die or if your day ends. And I think that was a really cool way to get around the rogues games, is that you can invest sort of this money type system into your weapons and equipment to make it pass over with you, and you get these powers called slabs that you get when you kill the visionaries. And so if you kill one of them, you'll get one of the powers that I had, for instance, was I forget what it's called, but if you throw this thing at a person and if it hits them, it links their life to everybody around them. So if you hit somebody with this thing and you shoot them in the face, everybody gets shot in the face. So it's a really cool power. Another one is to kind of do a short range teleport or disappear. I don't know what the other ones are because I haven't found them yet. But basically, when you start playing the game, you have weapons that kind of suck, and then when you kill visionaries, you can get way better weapons plus their slab, which their sort of magical powers, and then you have to build upon those powers to get the perfect loop going so you can kill all of them. And as you're doing it, you have to go through all these clues and how can I get to these people? Because a lot of them are really highly protected by these henchmen, and when they come after you, they fucking come after you. So if you get caught, it's you're in for a battle. And sometimes you can kill them, But it's like there's sometimes there's way easier ways to like kill people if you just like pay attention to like what they're like. You could literally just walk behind somebody or like near them and listen to them talk, and you'll pick up clues on like what to do. It's like a better way to kill somebody, or you just find clues by like reading shit. And they made it even kind of simple because anything that Colt reads, like he'll remember. So if you read like a code to like a vault or something like that, he'll remember the code like automatically. Or if there's a better way to do something, like he'll remember like a way to go around it. Like one of the best examples I can give that I've went through so far. So like this one chick that you have to. Shout out to Clay, super chat again. We're just super chatting all night tonight. This is like the most super chat we ever had in one night. So thank you very much, Clay.
Wow.
Anyway, there was like this visionary that I had to kill, and I killed her a couple times, but she's always difficult to kill because first of all she's surrounded by a shitload of henchmen, which are hard to get through. And then, like, at the bottom of, like, this level, it's, like, full of gas, so I can't, like, hide at the bottom because I'll die from this gas. So I have to, like, put myself in, like, this really weird position of, like, getting shot at while I'm trying to shoot through this window to kill this thing, kill this visionary who has powers and shit. I've done it a couple times, and, like, the last time I did it, I was, like, going through a computer, reading through messages, and it's a code to a door that I went to before, but I couldn't get extended out of the code. And apparently, if you go through this door, there's a secret passage to, like, go up behind where this visionary is, you can just kill him without going through any of the henchmen. Super easy. And so it's like clues like that to like get around, how to kill these people. So it's just like it's like an action game, an RPG, and like sort of like a murder mystery type deal, sort of too. Because you really got to pay attention to like what you're doing. So it's like it's really different. It's a lot of fun.
How's the graphics on this? Because for some reason, when I think about this game, I thought the polygon system was like pretty low on this. Is it like high quality, like really graphically done, or is it like we're looking at like fucking not Pixar? I can't think of the game. Have you played?
Like Pixar?
Not Deathloop.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, it's super pixelated, yeah.
Yeah, so this is what's weird. So when you're watching like the gameplay, you'll notice that like the henchmen, they kind of look like shit. And that's probably what you're thinking of. Like the character models for like the regular henchmen, they look kind of like generic because they're always wearing like these sort of generic masks, and like their clothing also looks kind of generic, and that's kind of by design. The actual visionaries, they're highly rendered, and like the rest of the background and stuff like that is like it's stylized, but it's still well rendered. But yeah, if you're looking at like just like the basic henchmen, they look like some generic semi-pixelated things, and then when you shoot them, they kind of phase in and out of existence a little bit, like it's weird.
Okay, I remember when I think they announced this at E3, and it was just an orange and black screen, like the characters were all black and just polygons and stuff like that. And every time I think about this game, that's what I think about. Like I looked it up again, and like it showed the polygons and orange and black background, and that's the only way I remember. I don't remember it having like high graphic details or anything.
Yeah, it's pretty well detailed. It definitely doesn't look old gen. It looks definitely this current gen. I mean, it's a good looking game. The only like small complaint that I have is that when I'm taking damage, it doesn't feel like I'm taking damage, which is kind of weird for me to say that because usually you just play modern games when you're taking damage, like you feel it in the controller. And there's like visual cues on the screen that you're taking damage, right? Usually the screen will get redder, the screen will shake a little bit, stuff like that you probably intuitively already, understand that, hey, I'm taking damage. But in this game, for some reason, like when I'm taking damage, like I don't get that same feeling. So maybe I think they might need to like change the way it rumbles in your hand, and also have like a better defined visual effect when I'm taking damage. Because there's been times where like I'm like I've got shot how many times? Like I didn't even know I got shot at all. And there's other times where like people are shooting at me and I kill everybody. I'm like, how did I not get shot? Because it's like literally the same feeling. But everything else is weird because like when you walk, I can feel every step in the controller. Like seriously, like every single step you can feel in the controller. Yeah, it's cool because it's like the new DualSense, but then taking damage like they didn't really tune that in very well, at least for me.
You said this was or Colt is a black ass character. When you started talking about slabs, goddammit, of course the first thing I started thinking about was those Houston cars and shit. Yeah. And I was like, oh man, here we go. But obviously that's not in this game.
I forgot to talk about the other aspect of this game that's really fucking cool. So the game is actually so as you play in the game, there's this chick named Julia, that can come in and just fuck up your whole thing. Because she's basically an asshole to you like the whole time, and she will jump into your game even when you're playing single player. She will invade whatever space that you're in, and she'll lock down the area so you can't escape. So usually the way the loop works is you come into a loop, you do some things. If you want to, you can kill a visionary and get their shit, and then you escape into the tunnel. When you escape into a tunnel, that you bring all your stuff that you got with you, and then you could like invest points to keep them or not. But that basically ends that part of the day for you. But when she comes into the game, it locks down the exit, so you can't leave. You have to either get to this, you have to get to like this little radio tower thing, and disable it, or kill her and disable it. I mean, usually if you're gonna disable it, you probably have to kill her first. What's cool about her is that if you're playing online, Julia is another person, and she has powers over you. Yeah, and she can blend in with anybody in the game. She has like his other power sets. I haven't played her yet, but it's really interesting that you're stuck when she comes in the game. But I didn't know when you're playing. I didn't know it was always online until like one time I paused the game, and all of a sudden I died twice, and I was like, how the fuck did I die? The game was paused. And then you have to go to offline mode. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things ever. I love games that include the invasion shit.
Yeah.
With another player, you're doing your shit, you're killing enemies, computer enemies, you're, going about your merry way, and then all of a sudden someone invades and wrecks your shit, or you decide to be the invader. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That hell reminds me of Reboot. Remember that series? Like, like... The character in that game, you mind your own fucking business, and the fucking gamer comes in, and just the whole goddamn city just gets imported into a goddamn game. And if they lose, that whole fucking city's fucking level. Just like, holy shit, really? That was a great fucking show.
It was. They actually did a more recent one. I think it was on Netflix. So.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was.
Oh yeah.
Like they brought live action into it, and just. But they brought back some of the cool characters. Like they had a lot of the villains, but. Yeah, it's up there with fucking Death Note.
Wow. So anyway,
live action Death Note.
Deathloop, I highly recommend to anybody. It's very fun, but the only caveat is, like you're gonna die like a bunch of times, so you have to understand like the way the system works. Because if you just keep dying, you're like, well, I keep dying, and I lose all my stuff, and all I was a stupid pea shooter. It's because you have to actually pay attention. Like you have to get this stuff called residuum, and then like invest points in this stuff. But it takes a couple of deaths to really understand that you have to like get this thing, and then after that, once you start building like your sort of like your deck, like your loadout, then it becomes fun because you can like customize your character. Because there's like one time I was playing the game, and I was trying to sneak up on this person to like get their slab, and I messed up, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm just gonna go loud. But I had a good loadout for going loud, so I'm like, all right, so I'm killing everybody, and all of a sudden like alarms start going off. I'm like, okay, alarms, well just come get me, I'll just kill you, and so. I'm killing everybody, and then all of a sudden, most people around me are dead. And then in the background, it goes, containment unit failing. Containment at 50%. I'm like, okay, I don't really care. I'm just going to keep looking around. And then containment at 65%. I'm like, oh, shit, it's going up. And then containment at blah, blah, blah. And then it got to like 89%. I'm in like a fight. And seconds later, the entire island explodes. And I died. I died. I was like, all right. I did not know that they were like trying to warn me to get the fuck out of there.
That sounds fun as fuck, though.
Dude, I wonder if they'll make like a sequel to it and make it multiplayer. Like, could you been squadding over some friends, like trying to do fucking missions? And every time one of you die, like you guys have to like go back and loop it all over again or something like that.
Well, it'd be even cooler because like so when you kill one of the visionaries, you can like suck up like their essence, and that's what your like money.
Wait,
is, like,
Nancy Reagan?
Yeah.
This fucking
That's the name of this episode. Nancy Reagan in it.
essence. Nancy Reagan takes your essence.
But it would be cool if like
out there taking souls like Homeboy from Mortal Kombat.
Well, no, I mean that'd be the idea though. Like to kill somebody and then like grab. It'd be like grabbing dog tags, like in like a Call of Duty. But you use like the dog tag for points to like upgrade yourself. I think that would be a really cool thing.
Dude, yeah, that game sounds like it's right up my alley. I definitely want to play it. I picked it up during Black Friday because it was pretty fucking cheap, like $20, $25, something like that.
Oh wow!
Same thing.
And I was like, why not?
Yeah, I got Deathloop for like $25. I got Guardians of the Galaxy for I think $30, and then I got this headset. This is the Pulse 3, which is really good. I got that for like $80 because it was on a slide sale, and I also got Immortals Phoenix Rising for I think maybe $15. So yeah.
Okay. I heard good things about that one.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah. Deathloop right now, if you buy it online, whatever, it's $40. So yeah, you got that shit for basically half off.
Yeah, and it was 10 out of 10 on IGN. It's highly rated on Metacritic.
There you go. Yeah, dude, I can't wait to sink my fucking teeth into that shit. Maybe over the
on the cover, there's a guy and a girl. Can you play as different sexes?
No, so Julia is the one who invades, and so Julia's trying to preserve the loop, and then Colt is trying to break the loop.
Gotcha. That's cool. That's great.
Oh shit. Old Ninja, you still on that Halo, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, I just got it. So I got the campaign a couple of days ago. So I've been playing it, and like it's funny because I'm like playing the game, and it feels like Halo, but I have the you start with grappling hook. I'm like, dude, this is awesome because I can literally go virtually almost anywhere, and it's like it's weird because it adds like a whole new level of like gameplay to it, at least for me, and it's like it's cool because it at first it starts you going from A to B for a little bit, and it's like it feels like Halo, aliens are familiar and they're a bit more brutal and they talk a lot of shit. And then because you don't start on the ring, but when you get to the ring, that's when the game totally fucking changes. I'm like, what the fuck? I totally forgot that it turns into a fucking open world game. Like you get a map, and you get like stuff to do, or you get like these objectives to do. They have like so there's 4 operating bases, and they've all been taken over because you've been out of the loop for I guess months, and like your forces are kind of losing. So there's these 4 operation bases that have been taken over by what's called the Banished, and if you retake it, it gives you a fast travel point as well as resources like guns, vehicles, and stuff. So that this is actually pretty cool. The more for FOBs, forward operation bases, you take, the more resources you can get. So you can get Marines to show up to help you out. You can call in more stuff. And I was like, this is actually pretty cool. And then they give you have high value targets. They're kind of like bounties. So you take them out. Each one has a modified weapon of all the base weapons, and each one's have like different firing. So, for instance, there's one. I killed this dude. He had a sniper, but his sniper had explosive rounds. So I was like, oh shit, this is awesome. So once I do this, I can go to a forward operation base and call that sniper up and take it with me and go wherever I want with it. It is kind of weird that you can't replay certain missions, but I'm having a lot of fun. The map, it looks kind of small, but if you've ever played the recent Tomb Raider games, you know that an island can turn into, it feels like a fucking continent. There's shit everywhere, and like the more places you take over, the more the map. You can see the whole map, but more objectives on the map you can see once you like start taking over spots in the game. So it's like weird. You can set whatever you want to do. You can be a lot more creative in your combat, especially with the grappling hook. You can switch out your grappling hook for other abilities if you come across them. You can upgrade your Master Chief now. So the more stuff that you find, you find dead Spartans, and then you can take what they had and then upgrade your gear.
I got a question. So is Cortana? They didn't cover up Cortana though, did they?
Is she somebody else now?
That's a complicated. There's a complicated answer to that.
Tell me if they covered her up and all that.
It's yes and no. That's why I said it's complicated. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, can you pick her skin? Because that'd be fucking great.
No, in multiplayer.
There's a character I want to put a skin on of her. There's a person that I would like her to be, and her name is Nancy Reagan.
Damn.
Can you Nancy Reagan? Like, Oh,
Man.
Master Chief, you're looking mighty fine.
Oh
Go,
my
go.
god. Oh shit. That's just terrible. But yeah, so there's technically at the moment there's 2 Cortanas where I'm
Okay.
at in the game. So one is semi naked, the other one's in full like UNSC gear. So there you go. I
I
don't
don't
want
like
to
that
give
clothes
too.
one.
You haven't even seen her.
I don't like
So
them.
it's been weird. So it was funny to me. I'm playing the game and like I didn't choose any of the story missions, and I'm like getting all this gear and upgrading and stuff. I'm like, oh, I should probably progress and find out what the fuck happened to my squad and why what the Bannister doing on the ring. So I'm playing through, and something happens in the game where I'm like, oh shit, these are brand new enemies to the franchise. Like, it's funny because the Master Chief makes fucking comments about it, and this new Cortana, who's not Cortana, is commenting about it. She asks the Chief, hey, have you seen these before? No, nope, these are new, gotta kill them. And I was like, oh, okay. They look like those Wizard of Oz flying monkeys, but kind of like lizard-like. So I'm like, what the fuck? And it's kind of weird based on based on what weapon you have, they could blow up and like kill you, or they'll just drop and die. Some of them will try to like call in reinforcements and stuff, and they're flying. They're in the air hovering around, so they're a little tricky to get. And I was like, oh shit, it's been a minute since I've seen new enemies. And then I ran into another new enemy, and turned out to be a boss, and that was kind of a fucking thing. So
When they added that campaign co-op?
at the earliest, you're looking at May of 2022. Earliest.
That's why
Well, right
you
now,
get the Xbox Series X anyway. So you get the Series S pretty easily, but the Series X is still hard to get your hands on.
still hard to get, yeah. But yeah,
PS5 is hard to get.
I want to say I'm still pretty early on. The map is kind of weird because like you're on the ring and it's broken, and where it's broken, it looks like there's a giant vertebrae where it's at, and I'm like, what? I haven't been to where it is on the map, but it looks kind of funky. I'm hoping it gets explained. It could be a rail system, like a monorail system, but it looks, when you're looking at the topological map, it looks like a fucking vertebrae that got broken. Kind of like what might have happened to Nancy Reagan back then.
Oh.
Just, but yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm hoping to get further along in the story over the weekend.
I'm kind of wondering because if you have a Windows, I don't know when Windows installed the Katana to it, but like if you on your Windows computer, at least like at least 12, 10 or 11 or up, there's a Katana button on the bottom. I'm surprised they don't do like a cool little like CGI like character that pops up and you can like interact, like kind of like with Microsoft Office, how they had like a little paperclip that you can work with. Like it's all, oh, I can need help. I want to be able to click that button and Katana pops up and like I can like talk to her or interact with her and she like walk around my screen. Actually, that sounds like some other thingy.
Yeah, I remember
that
that.
Nothing
everybody
on
knows
their
about.
keyboards.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. For what you just requested, like maybe 5 minutes ago, is probably why they don't do it. Because someone would probably try to reskin her as maybe Nancy Reagan or some other chick, and they'd be like, "What the fuck?" So
True
yeah,
that.
no. I mean, does Alexa have like a 3D body? No.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, so same shit.
But that's what could make her different than everybody else. 'Cause, I mean, Siri don't have a fucking
Nah, because
Siri's in Portal, so maybe.
there'd be too many edgelords that would never leave the house if there was a like a 3D Cortana on their rig or laptop.
I remember back in the day, it's probably still around, but there was when you're doing searching, when you're doing research, and it's like a site that you go to, and a little girl will pop up on the bottom right side of your screen, and she starts dancing and stuff like that. And there's like an app you can download to keep her on your screen, where she can continue dancing.
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember that, right?
Nope.
I think I've seen that, right?
Definitely.
Oh my god. So yeah. But yeah, I'm liking Halo Infinite a lot so far. They just updated multiplayer with new modes. There's supposed to be new maps in early 2022. I feel like Halo's back. I'm loving it a lot. I'm playing with a lot of people, so it's been fun. I'm hoping to get through the campaign within the next couple weeks. So
Good shit. Glad to hear it, man.
We had hard on games today.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of gaming stuff came out over the past week.
So we're going to
Love
do
it.
next, gentlemen.
We
Go ahead.
I would say we touched on Arcane a little bit, and we haven't really dove into it because I think a few people on the podcast wasn't really caught up. But like, should we go off and spoil the shit out of it now? Because
It's been a couple
this
weeks now.
series
I mean,
was goddamn so fucking good.
I think we can all say probably with certainty that it's the best video game adaptation of anything ever. I mean,
Yes.
I can't think of anything close.
Y'all get into it. Go deep inside. I have 2 fucking episodes left, but please go.
No, let's
go.
wait.
No.
We can wait till next week. It's fine. We can wait.
Yeah, we wait. Yeah, man. I watched the series. Like, Chronos, I think was the one that brought it up in the podcast, and I was like, okay, yeah, it seems kind of cool. I started watching it, and I was like, holy shit, this is dope as fuck. Fucking Jinx is batshit fucking crazy, but yeah, we'll save it later.
Lou's been itching to talk about it.
I have, man. 'Cause that ending, like, holy shit. You guys, let's talk about since we're talking about Netflix, let's talk about Cowboy Bebop being canceled.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Have you guys watched all of Cowboy Bebop?
I only watched episode
No,
1. I need to watch
live
more.
action?
Yeah, I don't know why I haven't watched one. I haven't
man.
watched more, but I need to watch more of it.
See, for me, I thought it was. I mean, it's nothing like anime. Like I basically took that out of my head and just threw it away. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna watch this and just watch it for it being like a cool show. And it's just basically like a space spaghetti western.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was fun to watch. It's not Cowboy Bebop, but they use similar seasoning that Cowboy Bebop had, and I kind of was looking forward to season 2, even though at the end there's some shit that happened. I'm like, okay, this is. What happened at the end took me away from the series, but I still wanted more of the series. But well, I guess you guys, we'll talk about it later when you guys finally get there.
Well, this is kind of weird, but I mean, there was no season 2 of the show. So I mean, there was the show and there was the movie. So.
But yeah, the show didn't have a season 2, so
No, so I'm not. I only expected 1 season of the show. So.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of dancing around some things. I mean, as a whole, a lot of people didn't really love this show. I mean, in terms of the ratings for both the critics and the viewers weren't great. I mean, like, literally, I thought it was in like the 50s or something like that. I haven't seen it for myself.
That was
But you also,
decent though.
I mean, everybody's gonna have their different opinions. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm just
I
saying,
also like.
as a whole,
I also
it
I was
did
gonna say, I love
that
the live action version of Death Note, the Japanese version.
yeah, but as a whole, it didn't seem to get some great reviews and get a whole lot of love. A lot of people just did not flat out enjoy it or whatever. I haven't seen it for myself. But then the other thing I was going to say is not a whole lot. There's a sprinkling of some of them. I think Jupiter, whatever that Jupiter show was one of them. But Netflix typically doesn't cancel stuff right away after the end of the first season.
Yeah.
If something is done really well. So,
Wait,
it is what it
so
is.
really quick, where does Metacritic? Does it go to 10 base scale or 5 base scale?
Metacritic goes to 100, so it's at 47 on Metacritic.
47. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with the animated series, they had
it has
26 episodes versus
Metacritic. It has like a
9.
Metascore and a user score, which are 2 different like metrics.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Blue?
No, I'm just saying that the animated series had 26 episodes, where the live action version only had, I think, 9 or 10. But there's a lot of stuff that was left out that didn't make it from the animation. But I don't know, I thought it was well, obviously, was it say her name?
Oh, say she name right.
Say she name right, yeah. That dude, he killed it as Jet.
Yeah.
Like his character, he was like on point. But then again, there was also like, his beard he had and stuff was kind of like, okay, dude, like really, I guess could have done better. But overall, he fucking killed it. Jed and like homeboy from American Pie or also God, I can't even remember.
Oh, John Cho.
Yeah, he did a good job as Spike. Like I don't know, he kind of brought in also the girl who played Faye, Daniela Pineda. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I thought everybody did a really good job. Like everybody brought the characters in there, but I guess other people weren't feeling it.
Okay, I was gonna say what was wrong then. So.
Well, no, like some of the stories were very similar to how the anime was. They tried their best to really try to make a live action version of the anime, and I don't know. I mean, there's some parts that are bad, but then also we were missing Ed. Like Ed wasn't in it, and there's a lot of stuff that was like, okay, Ed would have probably stepped in and fixed some shit here. But then there's lesbian scene. I can tell you that. Like that should have stayed in the show from the get go.
Oh man.
That should have been the reason why the show probably got 2 more seasons, but I guess, they didn't show what happened in the lesbian scene, but the lesbian scene happened, and I was like, okay.
Let's switch it up just a little bit, because this is going to be a big fucking week. You got not only, I think, Spidey drops tomorrow or whatever, but you also have, sticking with Netflix, some season 2 of The Witcher, I think, is on Friday.
That's a cold motherfucker. Yep. Well, I'm actually watching the first season right now.
Shit, okay. How did it hold up?
And I'm not the only one. It's actually in the top 10 on Netflix right now. Season 1 of The Witcher. Yeah, it holds
up. Are you
watching
it?
Yeah, we're watching it. Fuck it. Yeah. It's holding up fantastically. Like, we just watched episode 2 at the end. It was, the Toss a Coin to Your Witcher song. Still slaps.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yeah, it's a really
funny.
Good show.
My sister-in-law, she watched The Witcher, and she's like, I don't understand the show, but this Kevin, what's his name?
Henry Cavill.
Kevin Cavill. She's like, he's just hot. That's the only reason why she's watching the whole entire show, like, because he looks fucking buff and sexy and stuff like that. But yeah, The Witcher, that show was really good, especially what was it, Jennifer?
Yeah, she was bad as hell.
Not at first though. A little bigger. That's what they call it in the show.
Yeah, she had a little Quasimodo in her first.
That she did.
She did. But she did the whole, like, Cinderella bippy boppy boo and just she was ready for the ball.
Yeah, they just fucking pull out her uterus and then there you go.
But, like, for the series, like, I remember, like, the timeline is different because you see the the Witcher's timeline, and that's totally different than what's happening with, like, the princess or something like that. Like, I need to go back and watch it because it's been like 2 years since it originally dropped.
Yeah,
it's worth it.
COVID fucked up the filming schedule. I think this would have dropped last year, but it is what it is. Go ahead, old digit.
Did anybody watch the anime? Because I heard the anime is really good.
Yes,
it's also on Netflix.
It was badass.
Really? Was it a movie or a series?
It was a movie.
Okay.
Pretty sure it was a movie.
I don't think it's very long. I think it's like a 90-minute movie or something like that. But I heard it was really good.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that one.
I'm all on board then. I'm gonna check that out. The movie. I'll at least watch the movie. I don't think I'll have time to rewatch all of season 1 because that was like what 7, 8 episodes, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
But
yeah.
Have any of you watched The Wheel of Time?
Not yet. No, I'm slacking.
I sounds familiar.
So it's a.
Is it on Netflix?
No, it's actually on Amazon Prime, Amazon Video, and so it's one of the most prolific probably book series of all time. It's by a guy, so it's really interesting because I didn't know about this book until like one of my coworkers talked about it, and then I was reading another book that somebody recommended by something Jordan. Give me 1 second, but the main guy. Let's see.
Yeah. I see a lot of people talk about this recently.
Yeah, because I mean the book series is really good. So Brandon Sanderson is who I was thinking. That's the series that he wrote, a series that I was really into, and then somebody else recommended, kept talking about The Wheel of Time, and I was like, I heard about that book before, but I never read it. So I read like the first 3, maybe 4 books, and they're good books, but it's one of those books, especially the first one, where it just kind of dragged on for a minute. They're fucking long as shit. when I say longer, like 20 plus hours on Audible. I think I think the first was like in the 30s or something like that. They're long.
God damn.
So like a lot of stuff going on, and I was like, you know what? This in a show, they have a good opportunity to cut out like a lot of fat from the books and like make it into a more coherent story. Not that the book was bad, but I was like, hey, there's definitely opportunities here where you can cut out stuff to make it be more cohesive and like flow way better. And so the guy who wrote it, his name was Robert Jordan, and he actually passed away before he finished the books. But he knew he was going to likely die soon because he had some sort of cancer, I believe. And so he had a bunch of notes on how he wanted to finish the book series, and he picked Brandon Sanderson to finish them for him. And so he finished, like, I think it was the last, like, 3 novels. So it's, like, really interesting. It's, like, pretty rare that you see something like that happen with books. Anyway, the series is really good. And what they took some things they did differently in the show from the books were good. Some of them not so much, but almost, I would say, like, 90% of the things that changed from the books were positive changes. And it's full budget, you know, you got some scary looking fucking monsters and shit, you got people getting messed up, you got some semi-sexy parts, not really, it's not like Game of Thrones sexy stuff, but they have some, you know, stuff. That's also another kind of a large change. But it's like one of those really long, like, epic stories that's going to be told, and it's really cool. If you're into, you know, fantasy, this is going to be right up your alley.
So, I like these book series on Wiki, and they have the length. They show how many pages is the book. So like, they're like earlier books are like 300 plus pages for the paperback, and 350 for the hard book. But the audiobook, like, holy shit, like for the 4th book, it's the Shadow Rising, and it's a 40-hour goddamn audiobook. Like, God, yeah. that's long as fuck. God damn.
The hell?
And if you were to download them all, so on here it says if you were to download and read all the books, it's 11,898 pages for the paperback, and it's 19 days and 5 hours and 25 minutes for the audiobook.
That's just one piece art. That ain't.
They really are good books. So like, really, especially for fantasy books, like this, they're fantastic fantasy books. You know, they have deep lore. I think I was reading somewhere that said like they have over like 7,000 characters in the book series. I'm like, God damn, that's a lot. But I'm like, oh yeah, I guess like where I'm at, I'm on book 4. I haven't started book 4 yet, but I think I'm on book 4. And it's just like, yeah, there's already like a lot of characters that are in the books. So yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
it's kind of some of the issues. Like, these books span over. I mean, the first book was dropped in 1990s, and the last one was dropped in 2013. So this is a good 23 years of content. So
I keep hearing this thing. Yeah, I was gonna say I keep hearing good things about this show. My only question with Amazon is it like all released at once? Is it like 3 at a time or weekly?
It's weekly, and what's annoying is that I don't have early access.
Oh, fuck it.
Literally the only show that Amazon has that I don't have early access to. I'm like, what is it like?
You need to hit up the plug. Hit up the plug and be like, look,
yeah,
don't do this to me.
Why? Like, I was literally waiting for this, and yeah, nothing. So I have to watch it with everybody else weekly.
Amazon plug. What's up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's out. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about the series. Like I'm actually curious about watching it. Like, what the hell is the Wheel of Time? The only thing I have to think of is the Wheel of Time, turn, something.
Well, one other quick thing about the books in the show. If you're a lady, you probably really like it because it's like it's very empowering for women, because these women can wield like this thing called the One Power, and when the men try to, basically they have a whole division of these chicks that just go out and kill any guy that can wield the One Power, because apparently they go crazy, and yeah, so they have all these like crazy powerful women that have like basically magic. And it's really cool.
Is there one woman who has like almighty power?
Oh, don't do that.
There's this one chick called the Armerlin Seed, who's like the head chick.
Oh.
So she has got a bunch of powers, but yeah. And the other another chick is an asshole. Like, yeah, they have really strong female characters in the entire show.
Good shit, good shit.
Sorry, this quick little thing. So I was talking to a coworker about My Hero Academia, and I was like, yeah, man, like, you know, I watched it and there was like Almighty, like he's such a fucking badass dude.
Some chicks all, who?
Wait, what?
He said Almighty again.
I still call him Almighty. It's so fucking. I don't even know why. Just Almighty. Almighty sounds so much better than Almighty.
God doesn't.
It makes me think of like Mighty Mouse, for example, like Mighty Mouse, like Mighty Powers Mouse.
You're gonna need one of those riot shields the next time we're on stage.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna be necessary for your ass.
Somebody who's listening to the podcast is like, damn, they keep bringing up this goddamn fucking podcast, fucking All Might thing. Like, I wish I was there. You should have been there because that was fucking great.
We did record it. Go back and listen.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh shit. Yeah, I gotta share that link with my coworker. Like, hey,
Yeah,
man,
do
check
that.
this out. You ain't the first, but you're least violent.
Do that shit. What do you guys like got going for, like, obviously it's almost fucking holidays. You have any traditions? Obviously, Blue, you got a brand new baby boy. You know, what are you guys doing family wise or whatever with for the holidays?
I'll start. I'm gonna throw
Well,
all
like,
the way
for
into
us-
smoking crack. That's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be cool. I'm
Damn.
gonna keep it nice.
With a
and
hip hop
festive.
walk though?
Hip hop walk, crack smoking. I'm just gonna go straight to the tenderloin, find some crack, keep doing it, never stop. It's gonna be great.
Well, I mean, there is that one song that's like, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. I'm pretty sure that was about cocaine.
Damn.
Dude, okay. Some people don't realize this even to this day. White Lines, that one song,
Yeah.
Blow Away, that was all about coke. Like,
Yeah, it was. It took me
Well,
until last year to figure that out.
Well, even in The Weeknd has a song up here on one of his songs. He talks about how like
Starboy.
I think it was Starboy where he talks about like having lines made of ivory. Oh, you think it's about a piano, but then he's like she cleaned it with her face. She is my baby. Like she's like just.
so pretty much all of his songs are all about drugs. Like I want you to know, like a vast majority of them. You know, which is awesome. That D'Angelo used to do that shit with Brown Sugar.
I
Wait,
mean,
round trip about drugs? Because I just thought it was about fucking pussy.
yeah, that's what it sounds like. It.
Wait,
I mean,
is it?
it could apply to both. I mean,
I get high on your love, don't know how to maintain.
you can't. So pussy
What?
never done that to you.
No, but look at the rest of the lyrics. Got a big sister by the name of Chakatai. And like, look at the lyrics for D'Angelo.
I
See,
just like how the Weeknd said he's on that shit that you can't smell.
I hate being an adult because a lot of the stuff that we listen to as kids have a whole different fucking meaning now. Like, oh god, what song did I listen to earlier? There's a song by Jessica Simpson where she talks about like, she's like, I'm down on my knees waiting for you to explode your love on me or something like that. It's like,
Yes,
Nancy Reagan?
Nancy Reagan style. She probably learned from the best.
right? Like, the songs we listen to as kids is not. They're just not the same now. It's just not the fucking same. But Brown Sugar Baby, like, I thought that was like, you know, I mean, he's like, man, I had no clothes on and something like that. Like, he's talking about, like, you know, going down on a girl.
Yeah. If you thought Lady Gaga's poker face was actually about poker,
Shit, is it not?
No,
What is
it's
that
not.
about?
No, it ain't.
I need to know. What is it about, man? Because I thought it was about poker.
It's basically about her, like, with a dude, but she wants another chick. She's, like, faking it with this guy, and he can't read her poker face as she's lusting over a different chick.
Oh, God, I need to go back and listen to the lyrics.
And then, what's the,
But what about
she
what about
wants your-
112 peaches and cream? That's not about like eating fruit with like whipped cream on it, right?
bruh.
That one was super fucking obvious.
God damn.
Dang. What is it
I
that
thought we were
she
talking about some Christmas shit. You went.
Well, I talked about crack, but there's that. That's
Yeah, sure.
I'm making it a white Christmas. So some rock Christmas.
There you go.
Can I jump back to your Christmas song? There's that whole like honey it's cold outside. Like that one was like date rape.
Oh, we doing this
Yes
again?
means yes. But no, it doesn't. No definitely means no.
You're right. Right on cue this time of year, someone is going to start complaining and bring that whole thing up again. Like some song from 70 years ago is bothering them. Here we go.
Well, it's funny. Sorry, I gotta bring this back up again. SNL did a skit recently, and they did the whole like "Honey, it's cold outside," and did the whole with the guy like, "Oh, well, here's a jacket." Like, this shit, no, this shit's fucking funny.
All right,
I'm seriously looking at the lyrics of "Brown Sugar Baby," and I'm like, it's my innocent eyes as a kid is not reading this as an adult. Like, holy shit! Like, how did I know this wasn't about drugs?
Because we didn't do drugs.
Exactly why.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, for Christmas, this year we're still under like COVID rules, and California is going back into the indoor mask thing. So, because the Omicron variant, and not just the Omicron variant, like people haven't stopped dying thousands a day for like the longest time. So, I guess people just pretended that shit wasn't happening. So, yeah,
very close to $1 million people.
Yeah, people are just whatever. Anyway, my youngest daughter gets her first shot on the 22nd. I'm gonna see if I can get my booster in with while she gets hers. Because now going to the doctor with her now is gonna be a whole fucking different thing because she's been traumatized from seeing a doctor. So yeah, it sucks. For Christmas Day, I don't think we're just doing normal Christmas stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing Mishka. She's going to be here this week sometime. I think on Friday. We're going to hang out. Probably on Saturday too. I'm going to actually meet Papa Bear in person on Saturday.
Oh, shit.
I've never met him in real life. So.
Oh wait, you guys to meet when you're down in San Diego?
No, we ended up not working out. But we're going to meet. He's going to I think Washington. He's driving there. And we're gonna meet up in I think Merced or something like that.
Oh,
yeah. I'll drive out there and we'll have dinner with his family. Yeah, that's all I got. Just regular presents and stuff. Once again, I did the super black thing. It pisses off K-Mac every year of not putting out Christmas lights. Yeah.
Everybody got time to pay those electric bills.
I don't know what it is.
Well, there's like a Twitter thing going around for like black folks like guessing how much somebody paid for their fucking PG&E bill for having Christmas lights. So I was like, them motherfuckers are paying like at least $200-$300 for them lights.
I used to do it in like the Union City house, but that house wasn't that big. Well, this house isn't big either; it's small as fuck. But the other houses that I had were too goddamn big. I'm like, I'm not gonna string up all these damn lights. But they might hire somebody. My brother was telling me that there's somebody that one of his firefighters, he gets paid like.
Oh yeah.
I think he said it was like
like companies out there.
over $120,000 in a season, just to put up lights. And all he does, he charges people. I think it's like $5, depending on the size. Like it'd be like $500 or something like that, just to put them up. And then the lights are his, and then he just recycles them. Like he puts them up, takes them down, and then next year does the same thing. He makes like over $100,000 just doing this.
You know what?
Single season. It's amazing.
I can see that because like I don't know. Say you're charging like at least $100 an hour to put up these lights. Let's say $50, and it takes like maybe I don't know like 3 hours to decorate a fucking house like properly. I'm talking about like plants and trees and blah blah. But then you gotta go back and take that shit down. Like you're fucking double dipping basically. Like holy shit, like that's some good fucking money.
And it's all
The other thing is, yeah, but every year someone busts their ass and breaks their fucking back. Slipping on a ladder, not knowing what the fuck they're doing. So of course people are gonna be willing, if you got the money, to pay folks to do it. I don't want to get on a fucking ladder in the during rainy ass weather and shit and colder weather. Fuck that.
You don't want to pull a Griswold.
Exactly. Exactly. Fuck that noise. Shit. You staying local, old ninja?
So I may have to work, unfortunately, but I may try to finagle my way out of working, and then if that's the case, then I'll end up in Sacramento with my mom, my niece, and my sister, and then just hang out with them for like a day or so. That's pretty much it.
That'll be good shit. Like Kronos just said, Mishka, the kids are going up north, visiting some family, but they'll be back the day before Christmas Eve. And so I'm just really looking forward to having some like fucking nice, quiet ass downtime. It's kind of been off and on raining down here, so I just want to fucking chill, play some Back for
Doing
Blood.
gaming, yeah. I'm on here.
Yeah.
You can't wait. You can't wait to be gaming. You be like, oh, no interruptions, uninterrupted gaming. that's like when you was a kid, you busting all over the house when your parents went on vacation.
So
well, I still gotta choose one of the fucking games to join you guys. Their motherfuckers are always on late at night. And I'm just fucking chilling watching television.
Yeah, dude, we could always do some Cold War. We could do, like I said, I'm playing Back for Blood with Old Ninja and Hobby a little bit. You know,
well,
pick something.
But I know, like for the holidays, like the suicide, we don't really have anything seriously planned. But like people hit me up, like I was like, oh, what can we buy for the baby and this and that and this and that. It's like, fuck, dude, it's like hard to, cause he doesn't do much. Like he's not really into. I mean. He's into musical instruments. Like he loves his like little piano thing that we got him, and he loves. I would say the thing he loves a lot is fucking books. This little kid, like he loves like whenever I read to him, he's like touching the book and like throwing it around. Like he would like when he's on the floor, he will crawl to his book collection and like pull them like the books are in like a sleeve, and he will there's like a sleeve of like 4 books inside that sleeve, and he will go in there and like pull out a book, and I'm like, holy shit, kid, like how the fuck are you even doing that? Like it's not an easy thing to pull the books out of there. So yeah, buying gifts for an infant or baby is actually pretty fucking hard. So I think I'm gonna go like the Prodigy Miska route, but like, hey, you know what? Donate to the college fund. Either buy the books or donate to the college fund. Like that's probably the best thing you could do right now.
Yep, because he's got plenty of toys already.
Yeah, he's got and there's only like a handful of toys you really play with, so we don't want people wasting money. And we don't want people buying clothes because he just grows. The kid's like a weed, like he just grows through them. Like so, like he's got. It's funny because like when Nancy and I first had him, we were like, okay, we're only buy like a minimum amount of clothes, but it's like, okay, there's this cute outfit, there's this cute outfit, this cute outfit, and all of a sudden he just wears it once and just that's it. He grows out of it and like he's on to the next size, and it's crazy. Like we knew about it, and literally you're buying clothes for a picture for him to be photographed in it, and that's it, and then it's off to the next.
Why do you think like we all hand me down clothes and shit? Like I can tell you how many outfits that Riley has that Prodigy's kid, like his youngest daughter or his only daughter has, that she had a whole bunch of her clothes. And there's like
what?
Go ahead.
It's funny because like hand me down, like our kid plays like Stitch gave us like a good treasure chest of fucking toys, and our kid loves jumping the little jumper that Stitch gave us. He likes the little fucking game, like the controller thing. He loves playing with that. He loves playing with like a lot of the teething toys. Like he's like the hand-me-down game is like strong with like little kids. It's fucking cool.
Here's a quick little thing about like clothes and kids. So clothes in general, if you have a bunch of clothes that you're just trying to get rid of, like the best thing to do is just give it to like your friends. Like instead of giving it to like the Goodwill or whatever, even though the Goodwill gives you, tax benefits, but the vast majority of those clothes, they just get thrown away. Like, it's pretty crazy. I think it's like, something like 90% of those clothes just get thrown out. But if you give it to someone else that definitely is going to use them, then do that. I got a bunch of stuff I'm just going to, because we have way too many at this point, I have to go to the Goodwill. But it's just like a few clothes here and there, or just post it on Facebook for your friends. Hey, anybody need this stuff? Someone will say something, especially when it comes to kids' clothes. Most people need kids' clothes in some size or whatever. Even if you think you have enough, obviously they're going to grow, so you just get the next size up and just save you some money. Because most kids don't wear the same outfits all the time. Especially when they're between like the ages of like infant to like probably like 5 or 6 maybe. Constantly going through the clothes.
One interesting thing too is with like diapers. So like all of a sudden your kid be wearing like one size of diapers, and then all of a sudden like bam, they're all to the next size.
Yeah.
And like, well, the kind of the main reason why you want to go up a size is because they're blowing the fuck out of that smaller size. Like, it's not. I'm not talking about like they'll like poop outside of the diaper. Like they'll piss outside of the diaper too. Like that diaper is just not built to contain the size the size that baby is gonna put off. And it's actually kind of hard like hand off those unused diapers of that size. Like, I mean, there's some daycares that would take it, but like it's really hard to find like daycares that would take diapers. And look, one funny story. So somebody got us a box. Somebody got us some diapers, and I researched to find out where these diapers come from because like like Walmart might sell diapers like Pampers, but it'd be like a pack of like 217, where like Target they'll have like a packet of like 205. Like you can tell like where they come from. And these diapers came from fucking Walmart. And I went to try to take them. I didn't take them to Walmart to return them. I sent them to Walmart to be able to exchange them for a size bigger because he outgrew them like so fucking fast. And Walmart has this stupid fucking policy where like, I mean, it kind of is what it is, but if it's something that's over $25 and you don't have a receipt for, you can't return it or exchange it at all. Even though it's their fucking product and you want to just exchange it for something else, they don't do no gift cards, no, like, I guess gift cards, other things. Store credit, they do store credit. They're like, no, we can't fucking take this back. And it's like, it's based off of, like, on the website it says it's based off of the manager discrepancy. So I was like, look, I'm going to be a black Karen and be like, hey, let me speak to your fucking manager. Manager came out, was like, nothing I can do for you, bro. I'm like, I just want to exchange for fucking... I almost wanted to play like a sympathy card, like, look, I'm a single dad. I got these diapers and I can't afford anything more. Like, I was trying to fucking exchange. So I got like a box of fucking diapers that I can't use. I hit up some friends like that just recently had babies, and I don't know, it's just hard to get to get rid of fucking diapers. It's kind of crazy.
Alright,
That's my little rant.
No, it's all good. We should probably wrap it, guys. I'm a little tired. How about you guys? Unless you got one of the top. Yeah, no, that's good. Let's do it. Well, what you got popping this week? Goddamn it.
So I just watched the current episode of Hawkeye, and there's a big reveal in this episode. I'm surprised a whole lot of people aren't talking about it. There's a little like slight nudge to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse live action or whatever the fuck it's called.
Way Home Part 4.
Sure.
I mean,
also, I'm looking forward to The Witcher. I'm probably not going to blow through all of it this weekend, but I'm definitely going to watch at least a couple episodes. I'm looking forward to Book of Boba Fett, which I think is in 2 weeks. Just waiting on that. I just finished Lost in Space season 3, the final season. I'm probably going to talk about maybe a little bit next week. Just going to be playing some Halo Infinite. What is up?
No, to ask you, how is Lost?
I liked it. I think it ended on a very strong note. It's a lot more action packed than the previous seasons, even though the previous season still had a decent amount of action. I want to talk about it further next week. I hope some of you are able to get a chance to watch it. I'm still watching, Young Justice Phantoms. Last week's episode was pretty interesting. I saw that in the credits that Kevin Garneau wrote the latest episode. Oh, that's pretty interesting. He's a cool guy. We had a chance. I know it was Blue, Cronus, and myself. We had a chance to talk to him at WonderCon a couple of years back. Was it 2-3 years back or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see him still with working with DC and Marvel and whatnot. So that was pretty cool. Other than that, probably gonna play more Back 4 Blood with Prodigy. Hopefully he doesn't fuck up. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
The Corner Switch got.
Oh, nothing much, just looking forward to the end of the year. So, yeah, get rid of, just leave this year behind. Hopefully next year will be better. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Damn, that's sobering. All right. What you got?
Quick little shout out to Sweetest. Her birthday was on Saturday, so happy birthday to her. We got the little Sebby, little Bash, just slowly fucking becoming a goddamn man, and it's interesting to watch him progress because he's like at first he was army crawling, now he's like kind of elbow crawling, like he's got the whole crawling thing down, so it's like holy shit, like life has fucking changed like instantly once he learned how to like move around. But yeah, it's constantly watching him grow. I'm looking forward to the fucking Matrix movie that's getting released next week, the 22nd, which is great because it's gonna be at HBO Max. If you have HBO Max, you can watch it on there. You don't have to fucking break quarantine and go into the fucking theaters and get COVID like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Or no, sorry, not Into the Spider-Verse. No Way Home because I'm stuck in detention. Like I wish Disney or Sony would have released that for the theaters too, or for you to be able to watch from home. But I mean, yes, it is what it is. But I'm looking forward to that actually. I don't know when I'll be able to watch it, but I'm still looking forward to it. The Flash Armageddon season and like wrapped up yesterday, and it's actually pretty fucking good. Like they did a pretty good job. Yeah, because I watched it earlier today, and I thought they did a pretty good job. They kind of killed off Joe, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like you can't kill fucking Joe? Like come on, man, like what the fuck? And then it all kind of makes sense more toward the end. I don't want to spoil it too much, but yeah, the Flash is still doing a really good job. I haven't watched any other DC shows on CW lately. Like Supergirl wrapped up recently, and I didn't know that series was even back, so I don't even know what happened this season.
So wait, Supergirl is all of it's on Netflix now. So
like all of it.
Yeah, all of it, every single season. It's weird because the final season is part of season 6. So they treat season 6 as the final season. Technically, it's supposed to be season 6 and 7, but whatever. But it's all on there. That's how I finished Supergirl. I missed a couple episodes. I went back and watched it.
Because I know that HBO Max has the CW shows on there, so I was like, I went on there to try to see if it was on there. But if it's on CW, I'm gonna go. I mean, not CW. If it's on Netflix, I'm gonna go check it out. But
yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if. Cronus is still down to do a photo shoot this weekend.
Yeah. It'll be like earlier, like afternoonish maybe. So.
All right, I get that, but
yeah. Oh shit, Mike, fucking.
Your whole mic just went limp.
My mic must have met with Nancy Reagan. It was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
But no, also. Optimus Photography, Sweetest and I, we actually did a photo shoot with our son. We did a family photo shoot last week, which was fucking kind of cool, because being a photographer, taking family pictures is fun and all of that, but, like, it's hard to coordinate. Like, you have to set up a camera, do timer, and this and that, and the baby, like, looking off to the wind or whatever. It's good to have somebody that you can focus on, but the pictures came out great. It was kind of cool, but, yeah, that's about it for me.
Share some of those in the chat, and I'd love to see them. For me, last night it was really special. I got a chance to watch the Warrior game with Steph finally hitting that all-time three-point record, so that was kind of cool. Other than that, I'm playing a ton of Back 4 Blood. I plan on doing that all this fucking weekend and trying to fucking unwind and just kind of ease into the goddamn new year, man. It is what the fuck it is. And then we will be early January. We're going to have the golden necklace up and ready.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about it yet, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll get it. You know, we be doing shit late sometimes. But we'll have it in early January for y'all, your asses. Old Edge, take us out.
All right. You just experienced Black and Black times Infinity?
Infinity.
Whoa.
Thank you, podcast. Yeah, he did. Damn. Check us out anywhere, everywhere with Beat the BTI, BTHAN anywhere. Or you can look up Black and Black Times Infinity. On Amazon, we have an app that lets you know when we go live. You can email us at beatthebti@gmail.com, and we also have a Discord out there somewhere. Oh, and check out our official website, benheadproductions.com/beatthebti.
Man at last has succeeded in penetrating further and further into the
Doesn't stop now.
Yet many questions remain unanswered.